Greetings to everyone, I'm Eylül Aşkın. I am calling you from Giardino, degli, Ananci today in Rome. A beautiful park, totally recommended for the visitors of Rome. And today with me, there is a very talented musician who invented psychedelic flamenco, Marnix Alexander DuCrook. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
And well, first let us get to know you a little bit. Which part from the Netherlands you are from? In what kind of a family that you grew up in? Did you or do you have anyone else in your family who is also interested in music or arts? And how your journey, how your musical journey has begun?
So, I was born close to Haarlem, in the west of the Netherlands. Kind of in a normal family, I would say, like a working mom and dad, and I have a sister as well. I'm the only actual musician in the family, but yeah, it came out of the fact of what kind of music my parents were listening to, especially my father. So I grew up in the CD times, and yeah, listening to those CDs, especially a few specific ones, made me wanting to become a guitar player.
Why guitar?
Because the CD was Pink Floyd. That's why I'm also here in Rome for the Pink Floyd concert. So yeah, it's a very the specific album is called The Vision Bell from 1994, and so I was very young when I heard this, but it was very clear for me that this is what I want to do.
But you studied engineering instead. Why didn't you consider to go to a music school or a conservatory?
Yeah, that's true. I have two lives. I'm a green engineer as well, because I also have a love for nature, and so I studied next to the guitar lessons. I studied ecology because I believe I had very clear what I wanted to do. And I think if I have to wait for other people to help me for this, or that they do it for me, I wouldn't have achieved anything. So I thought, okay, I got to do it myself. That means I have to pay also for everything myself. So I need a proper job. So by this I also pay for my albums.
I think it's quite interesting for us, for our country. What does a green engineer do? Can you mention a little bit?
Of course, yeah. So in my case, it's you work for a city hall, and that city within the borders, you are responsible for the ecology and the green. So let's say the trees inside of the city. And nowadays, I'm happy that kind of everybody knows that trees are the air conditioning of the city. So it's you make the earth a little bit of a better place. So I try to make as many trees as possible in the city, and where to put them and what kind of species.
How did you come up with psychedelic flamenco? How did you find it and improve it?
So I was listening to Pink Floyd when I was 4, deciding to become a guitar player. But in the Netherlands you can start from the age of 6. So I had to wait for 2 years. And my parents said, if you want to play Pink Floyd, you have to start classical. And so I went to the music school studying classical and pop guitar. And the funny accident was that my guitar teacher studied in Spain. He was a flamenco player as well. So because of him, I got in touch with flamenco. And then when he played some beautiful things in between the lessons and I heard that, it was like, I want this. So I started at 6. And when I was 14, I think, he said to me like, hey, you have done now the whole basics. You can make a choice. What would you like to play? And then I said, I want to play flamenco. So I had 3 more years of flamenco lessons. And then I was kind of done. I could, develop myself.
And did you perform during that time?
No. So I quit when I was 17. And after that, I was experimenting for many years. Until the age of 23. Then I had my first shows and recordings. So then it gave yeah, it became what it became now, and I call it psychedelic flamenco.
So you are actually on your way to a gig, also just passing by Rome
Yes.
for the Pink Floyd concert, and that's how we met by chance, actually. Do you do that often, touring Europe, sharing your music?
Yes, as much as possible, and that would be 2 or 3 times a year. So actually what I do is I buy an interrail ticket. So that means you have one ticket and you can travel by train through all over Europe. And then I make the spots of the cities where I stop and I want to do my show. So that's how I also ended up here in Rome. And besides that, in the summer I always play in surf camps in France and Spain on the coast.
Why are you more interested in giving concerts in Mediterranean countries more than the Netherlands?
I like to be here in the Mediterranean places because the culture is way more old and sophisticated. So actually I believe that the Dutch culture it's very young. And so there is no folklore music like that. And you see it here, you feel it. And so when I play it here, even though it's different, psychedelic flamenco is not real flamenco, but the people, they connect to it. And that's what I like a lot.
Do you also have a full band in the Netherlands? How long have you been playing with this band and how did you come together?
Yes, I have a band. They are all jazz musicians. And I always want to have a double bass player, percussion, violin, and then trumpet or saxophone. And what I've seen from them is that that in the jazz they can adapt very quickly, even if your structures are strange or new. And so yeah, by the 5 people that are in my band, they adapt to my music. And then I was like, yeah, this is what I want.
So you keep performing with them also
Yes.
in the Netherlands?
Yes, because I wish it's going to be outside of the Netherlands, but that is not financially doable at the moment.
So you worked with Richard Marquez on your second album, whom we know from Buena Vista Social Club. How did you do that?
Good question. I was looking for a percussion player for my second album. And I found a few very good ones in the Netherlands. But unfortunately, they had no time for me. Their schedule was full. And then one of them gave me the phone number of Richard Marquez, who worked together with Cachao and Arturo Sandoval from the Buena Vista Social Club. So yeah, I knew like, okay, he can do the job, right? But he is from Hollywood. And back then he lived for a few months in the Netherlands. He was new, so he was looking for a job and to play. So that's how I found him.
So you were lucky.
Yeah. So then he became a session musician for my records. Yeah.
And which other musicians would you like to work with in the future, if you had the chance?
Oh. So for now, my music is always instrumental, and I would love to work more together with voices, with singers, female and male, in different languages. So, for instance, if you have Santana, he plays his music with many different voices, and that's what I want to do as well. More collaborations like that.
Why Holandaluz? Why you chose this artist name for yourself?
I didn't choose it. I got it from another artist. His name is Seb Hart from Barcelona. And he saw me playing in a festival in the north of Spain. And after the show he came to me and he said, "Hey, I have a great name for you." I said, "What?" He said, "Holandaluz." Wait, that's a really nice name. So we checked directly if it was existing, and it wasn't. So I directly took it.
But does it mean anything, like from Holland or something?
Yes.
Or just...
Holland in Spanish is Holanda, and the south region where the flamenco is from is called Andaluz. So Hollanda and Andaluz inside of each other is
It's the perfect mix for you.
And it's what I am. It's what I am. So yeah.
What should people expect from your music, and where do you aim to go with it?
So I use the source of flamenco techniques and sounds, but my songs are written in a kind of a pop rock way. Verse, chorus, that doesn't exist in flamenco. So that is the combination that I do. And you can, inside of this, you can expect anything, all different
And
techniques.
what are your goals, musically, asking?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I want to do more festivals,
Festivals.
more outside of Holland as well.
And we already know about Pink Floyd, but which other musicians that inspired and influenced you in your work, in your music?
Many. So from where I come from, I love rock. And even though rock is dead in the Netherlands for a long time already, I still love it. And then it's mostly British groups, old and young, and then a few American ones, such as Grateful Dead, Yes, The Who, well, all the big ones. And then from the younger ones, I love Tame Impala, The Charlatans, Porcupine Tree, progressive rock music. And then later I also, of course, went into the flamenco and world music. So you can expect anything, actually. Yeah.
So what do you think of today's music in general, and what are your concerns and critics as a musician?
Well, I am sad about the fact of the music that is popular. Alright, so where the money is, it has to be as simple as possible and flat in any ways. So yeah, that's not where music is about, it's just a product to sell. But I honestly believe that any instrument, if people can play it well, it doesn't matter what style, but if you can play an instrument well, people will like that. That will be forever. So my focus is more on that. And yeah, if you can have success, yeah, that would be lovely. But for instance, last night at the Pink Floyd concert, that kind of music with such a long story, it's impossible to do that nowadays and have a commercial success with it.
Because probably no one would listen to them.
Yeah, it's too much of an effort to really sit down and listen to it. So I'm a music collector. I buy a lot of CDs. I have a whole wall full of CDs. And what I love about that is like you put it on and then you just sit down, chill, or you do what you want to do and let the music go without skipping songs. It's just the whole artwork, you go for it.
Are you inspired by any other kind of art, or is it just music?
No, of course not. I am also about other things inspired. Well, now here we are in Rome. If I see this incredible architecture of the past, that inspires me a lot. And besides that, it's always the nature and paintings.
Did you make new compositions yet here in Rome?
Little ones. So for instance, I had a song, but then I needed to fix some things. And the fixing, yeah, that happened here.
From where we can follow you through social media? Where we can find you?
Okay, so yeah, my artist name is Holandaluz, and it starts with an H, like Holandaluz, with one L. And that's
put it down.
Yeah, and that's you can find it everywhere. So it's the Spotify, Deezer, Apple, Facebook, Instagram, the whole thing. I don't have a TikTok yet, but they told me I have to do this.
Yeah,
so
unfortunately.
I guess that's gonna happen in the future as well. Yeah.
So thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
The same for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, sorry.
So here today at Giardino degli Ananci, we had a very nice conversation with musician Marnix Alexander DuCrook. You can follow him on Instagram and on his through his other social media accounts. So, see you next time.
Hey everybody, Hollandaluz here. I'm going to release my 4th album. It's going to be called Classico 1. So next year I have Classico 2. But for now it's a new Psychedelic Flamenco album that I recorded with my new guitar, which is Giardino guitar. It's one of the greatest guitars I ever had. So the sound is very good and very rich. And I recorded the album with my Psychedelic Flamenco band. So double bass, percussion, violin, trumpet and saxophone. And it will be released this winter. So to give you already a sneak preview, I released a new single, which is Ladion. And it's out now. I hope you like it. I hope to see you in one of the shows. And see you in the next time. Ciao.